Alright, so I should be streaming. I'm not sure if I am. I'm gonna try to keep the comment bar on the side, so to keep an eye on you guys if you make comments. Today I'm going to do a super quick, super fast stream because I don't really have a lot of time. There are friends coming to visit, but I really wanted to make this video about the letter E because I've had some ideas that I wanted to produce. So let me just fire up Cinema 4D. IMAX. So I'm gonna put these on the side like this. And let's just get to this. Basically, the idea was to make the E with sort of like random pipings. I saw this illustration a couple of days ago of I don't really remember. It was like houses made all of like pink pipes, and it really stuck in my head. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll do something like this. So I'm just gonna make a quick. How do we do this? Okay, so basically I'm gonna first of all create the element that is going to dictate the shape. Let's see, this still looks a bit big. There you go. Maybe I'll do it like this, and I'll do some iterations of this. Let me do a copy. Then I'll make another copy. I'll just copy it here so that I can scale it. There we go. Hi Blas, nice to see you here. There we go. And these two, I'm actually gonna convert them and melt them into one single object. There we go. Maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of like a fillet to both of them. First of all, I'm gonna optimize them. Optimize. And then UL, select all the loops. IT about. There we go. So we got 6 people watching. You guys, I always work. This is one thing that you should know about me. My wife was like, I'm a little tired. Do you mind if I take a nap? And I'm like, a nap? Really? You gonna leave me by myself? I'm gonna make 3D stuff. There we go. Maybe let's round it up a little bit. Good. So S to kind of zoom onto this stuff, and I'm gonna rotate both of them so that I keep them here visually. Now what I want to do, I want to kind of clone this on some sort of like guide elements, and I'm imagining this this letter to be kind of like dynamic. I don't know, let's see. So I'm gonna make a copy here. This is for one leg, and then the space, and then one other element. Yes, that's how E are done. So I have E space, and then another one. There you go. So guys, if you ever have any questions regarding this stuff, I know that you're probably better modelers than me, but you know, I'm happy to share a little bit of my knowledge when it comes to Cinema 4D. Okay, so I'm just gonna rotate these two things. R for rotate, and I'm gonna clone them. Actually, you know what? That was stupid of me. Let me delete these elements because we're gonna do that in a more clever way. And I'm gonna drop a cloner inside here. The cloner is going to be not a linear cloner, but rather a object cloner. I can reduce the subdivisions for this. Actually, I only need 1 and 1 subdivision. And I'm gonna drop this plane inside this cloner. Good. So obviously what I have to do, I have to change the axis of this element. There you go, 90 degrees, and I'll do the same here. 90 degrees. Good. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the distribution to surface so that I have all the elements there. This is looking okay. Maybe I'm gonna make these two elements a little bit longer. There we go. And probably this is okay already. Let me just... No, maybe we'll make this smaller. Yes, so it's a little bit more compact. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this cloner. I'm gonna say MoGraph effector random. I'm gonna deactivate the position and only activate the scale. Now, Abudoja, I think, Abudoja. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. And I'm gonna scale it randomly on the Z axis, maybe something like 0.3. And also here I'm gonna say 0.1 and 0.1. So that it randomly scales that way. Good. Now there are some elements that intersect, but we don't really care about it for now. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take everything here. We're gonna Alt-G group it. And then in the front view, I'm going to copy these elements with Control and move them. Then I'm gonna take my tubes and I'm simply gonna scale them down. There we go. Now I can simply take this element and move it a little bit. Now we can call this bottom. I have OCD, so I want to have full control. Mid, low. Then we're gonna take this element here, the bottom, and we're gonna copy it up here. We're gonna take the mid, low, and copy it up here. And we're gonna take this element and copy it here again. Now, look at this. Ah, rad, huh? Now, of course, we don't want to have it too similar. We want to kind of like go into the into the cloner and change the seed so that we get like some sort of different outcome. Kirill, I'm using Cinema 4D. I'm a Cinema 4D user. I worked for V-Ray for C4D, the company that produces the software, and I've been using Cinema 4D for 3 years now. So let's change also the seed here. Let's change the seed here. And let's change the seed here. Now, they all seem to be a little bit too long. Like, for instance, this element, I would definitely scale these geometries down. Maybe move the cloner. Actually, I cannot move the cloner. I need to move the plane backward. They're all, generally speaking, too kind of long. I don't like that. Let me scale this a little bit. I feel like I should use... Let me just change my view. Put, instead of tinted border, I'm gonna go with hard line. And then I'm gonna change the output to... Since, you know, this is a very quick work, I'm gonna keep it very small, 1000 by 1000. Gonna lock the ratio. I'm gonna drop a physical camera. The physical camera, it's going to be... let's make it very wide, like 25. Yes. So I like, you know, this dynamic shape. But as it looks now, I feel like everything is too big. Let me scale it down. Nope. No 3ds Max here. But you know, it's there are people that do crazy stuff, and of course 3ds Max is industry standard. What am I? Who am I to say that, you know, people shouldn't use 3ds Max? I love when people get so hung up on the software that they should be using and the tools that they should be using. It's no, 3ds Max is the best. No, Corona is the best. V-Ray, no, Octane, no. It's the war of software. You know, the truth is, clients don't give a damn. At the end of the day, all they care is that you make the project the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so let me... this is looking kind of cool. Okay, let's create some materials. This time I would like to make something orangey. Let's see, orangey. Let me drop a plane. I'm gonna drop this plane, T to scale it up. I'm gonna move it behind the geometry. And I'm gonna make a couple of standard materials. I'm gonna make a... Exactly, tools are just tools, you know. I ended up working with Cinema 4D because I used to live in Vienna, and in Vienna, in the DACH region, which is Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, one of the software that is used the most is actually Cinema 4D. So I was like, okay, I need to get a job. Let me see which software can allow me to get a job the quickest way possible. And that was Cinema 4D. And then I started learning it. I became somehow good at it, and I never got a job in an office. Then I ended up working for V-Ray, which was so much better because I learned so much doing working in that segment. It was worth it. Okay, I'm gonna lower a little bit the black and white value. I'm gonna drop this into the plane. I'm gonna change my render engine to V-Ray. V-Ray, I'm gonna select GI. Let me use a light, V-Ray lights, dome lights. I'm gonna change the display, and I'm gonna put a spherical map with my beautiful advanced bitmap. I have already my these people set up. Great maps, I really like them, and they're also very cheap. I think I'm still using like the old collection, but you know, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Okay, so I have this geometry. Now the geometry is intersecting, so what I'm going to do, I'm gonna drop some dynamics inside these cloners, but first of all I want to make sure that the geometry looks okay. I want to make the main color something like orangey. Now this is going to be a strong color, I tell you, because I know myself. I love flashy things, you know. It's I show you, there is a pair of shoes that I want to buy. I saw them on a blog of a designer, and I'm like, I need to have this. Look at this. Look how beautiful. Can you imagine me going around with those shoes at the D2 conference in Vienna? They're gonna make people blind. Okay, so I made the blue. Let me just test this. Let me just... I'm gonna lock the camera for now because... Oh, wait. I haven't really decided my camera angle. Tubes. Okay, let me fix my camera for a second. Protection. Tube. Good. So I'm gonna select these, isolate them, and now I can see which ones are the great. So all the second ones. Perfect. So I'm just gonna drop each single material on these geometries. And then the rest is going to be blue. Let me go back to my view. Let me render it. Let's take a look. Let's see how this looks. Of course, it's very dark. Okay, let's go into our physical parameters of the camera, and I'm gonna, first of all, I'm gonna change the white balance because we don't need actually any white balance. We're looking at super bright colors, so you know, who cares? Yes, of course, I can recommend you hotels. The best thing, okay, I'll tell you later. For now, let's just finish this thing. But you should be still in time for like finding a good hotel very close to the venue. It shouldn't be a problem. Oh my god, it's already 16 minutes in. Huh. I like this, but I don't like the reflections. I want a more cartoonish look. Let's take a look. So I'm just gonna go into the light and say to my light, I want it to not affect the reflections. My dog is barking. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Maybe the blue is too blue. Gonna lower the saturation. Maybe move it a little bit closer to a lighter blue. Let me change the camera as well. So what do we have? Film ISO, shutter speed. Let's put this at 100. Yes, I like this a lot better. Now, the only thing that I have to do, I have to make these squares invisible, of course. What are they called? Planes? Plane, yes. So let's isolate all the planes and let's make them unrenderable. No, apart from this, because this is the background. Okay, let me take a look at the picture again. I kind of like this. Maybe I want to have a little bit more vignetting. Maybe I want to have the yellow a little bit closer to this orange, because otherwise the contrast is too high. So let's change this. Let's bring the value of this yellow somewhere closer to, say, 40 degrees. There we go. And in the camera, I'm gonna put a vignette at 1.5. Maybe I want to scale down this geometry. I don't like it. T. Yeah, 10%. Maybe I'll scale down also these elements. I think it's a great thing to do this kind of challenges, because I never get to experiment with, like, you know, fun stuff. I mean, this is a lot of fun, and it really helps my filling up my, you know, creative juice. Is that like an expression? Creative juice? There we go. Let's render it again. Let's take a look. Oh, no way. That's too much vignette. What did I do? Didn't I say 1.5? Ah, maybe this is too... The camera, it's too big. Sorry, the lens parameters are too... Yes, this looks way better. Okay, good. Now, the only thing that I want to go and fix is this. You see, the pipes are basically like intersecting each other. And also, I want to change a little bit the way this element is mixing up in terms of color. Yes, this is called the 36 days of type, and basically every day you get to do one different letter. I'm now doing letter E. I've done already letter, if you go to my Facebook, and you look at my photos, I've done already letter A, B, C. There you go. So you get to do something creative that otherwise you wouldn't do. That's the way I see it. And actually, I'm enjoying it a lot, I have to say. Okay, let me just close the render here. I want to see my chat in case you guys ask any questions. Good, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this geometry a little bit closer. I'm going to get out of my... there we go. I'm going to take also this element and I'm going to move it lower. Going to take also this and move it lower. Let me rename a couple of these. Mid, high, and top. And the top needs to come down as well. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all the cloners. There we go. And I'm gonna drop a simulation tag. Simulation tag. Simulation tag. Rigid body. Now what this does, it allows me to play a little bit with like the dynamics. Now I'm not an expert in dynamics, so I'll have to play a little bit in order to kind of make it work. So how does this work? Self collision, it's there. Force, follow position 100%, follow rotation 100%, linear damping 100%, angular damping 100%. So this should allow the geometry to stay in place. All I need is basically a couple of frames. There we go. Hold on, let me see if I applied it to all the children, collision, inherit tag, individual elements all. Okay, I'll go back. Yes, and now this should give me sort of like a geometry that it's not intersecting. Let me render it. I actually, okay, the question is if I use an idea from, you know, the previous night or whatever. I do, I think about it all the time, you know, I'm thinking, what can I do in the idea when you work as an artist should always be, how can I achieve more with less? Not because you should work less, but it's just because as an artist you have limited resources and you should be able to become an expert in certain things. So every time I always think, how can I make something cool using the knowledge that I have? This is, you know, the way I see it. Maybe people might disagree with this, but so far it has turned out to be a good way to approach this job. Hi Yon Lee. I'm liking this. The only thing is that I want to get rid of this gap. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to yet again reset my animation, select these two elements, the mid and the top. I'm gonna put it down here. Maybe I'm gonna group everything to keep it organized, move it a little bit towards me. Maybe I could change a little bit the focal length of my camera to fill up the frame. Let me change the anti-aliasing of V-Ray so that I can make it a little bit less noisy. Although I do a lot of denoising in Photoshop, simply because I have a better control. And that's it. We're gonna call it the day. We're already 25 minutes in. I think this is enough, Fabio, for today. This is my letter E for today's... no, I made a mistake. I didn't scroll the dynamics a couple of frames. There you go. And maybe I'm gonna make the image a little bit lighter. Haha, there is not enough, Fabio. Go tell that to my wife. There is still this gap. I hate that gap. Okay, let me change it. Let me see if I can change it. Why is this not changed? Oh, okay, I see. So the gap is not due to the... Maybe I need to raise the count. What am I doing? Why is this not working? Of course, because the dynamics are in. Good. Fabio, don't sleep just because it's the weekend. Good, this is much better. I want to change this because I see too much blue. I don't like that. I want a good mixture between... Yes, that's the one. Let's put some more cloners. Now I'm afraid it's too much orange. Let me change a little bit the display. Something like this. Now I can see it better. Yeah. Let me make this a little bit darker. A couple of points. And let's render. Yes, now no, I forgot again. Fabio, why? There you go, a couple of frames, and now we render. And that's it. Now what's gonna happen, the picture is going to be rendered. I'm gonna put my hashtag and my at Fabio Palvelli. I'm gonna put it online and you can download the file. So in case you're interested in Cinema 4D, or you know somebody that is interested in Cinema 4D and they're trying to learn V-Ray, you can tell them, Fabio, make fantastic files for free for download. And that's it. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I am interviewing Lucia Frascerra, a fantastic artist from Italy. I've been following her for a while. She's incredible. She worked for D-Box. She's now working, I think, for Cityscapes, if I don't mistake. And she's super talented, super cool. And we're gonna have a super fantastic, awesome talk. And I would appreciate if you guys come and say hi. Anyway, this is everything that I have for you today. I'm gonna stop the streaming for now because, you know, it's enough of Fabio for this week or for this Saturday. I talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.